only based on the US, right?
I think the problem Microsoft is also saying you can't use Microsoft products in Iran. Microsoft or Adobe, no, nobody can sell their products to Iran. And I think Cuba also they are very North Korea, another good example. North Korea uses entirely Linux because of this. Because you can't get Microsoft products there. Piracy, yeah. Cuba piracy is really good. They have a whole good network of piracy. Cuba, that's pretty interesting. Cuba has a very good piracy network.
If the Linux Foundation is, entangled with the US legal laws, how is Debian not? Isn't Debian part of the Linux Foundation?
No.
That's not how it is. Huh?
So Debian is essentially an online tool at this point.
Oh.
So some random people just figured out by IRC.
Okay.
And that's developing an open system.
So you mean Debian as a whole is it different from the Linux Foundation?
So Debian is separate. Linux kernel started in 1991, right? I believe so. So then Debian was started by this guy called Ian Murdoch in 95. So he decided there should be people were trying to build operating systems. So at the time, people were compiling software. So Debian was the first distribution to bring compiled binaries as a software center. So Debian kind of introduced the concept of app stores or a Play Store. So you can directly sudo app install and you get the compiled binary itself.
That is inside the Linux kernel.
No. So Linux kernel is entirely different. Okay. This is an operating system utility. Installing the packages, apps, and easy installation of software. Entirely separate.
So the rule, whatever they're doing, is because of Linux Foundation is based in US, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be applicable to all the foundations under Linux Foundation.
Yeah, any projects under Linux Foundation.
Even CNCF, for example.
Yeah. But I think Linus Torvalds took a personal thing in this case as well. Because when somebody mentioned about this Russian thing, Linus is from Finland, right? Finland or Sweden?
No, he is a US citizen.
Finland. I think
He is based from Finland, but he is working in US for.
yeah, but he has a personal thing with Russia. Because Finland was invaded by Russia a long time ago. And so Linus has a historical bias against Russia. So he replied very personally in that emailing list. But since he is the dictator, so I guess this is his project. So. Yeah. Oh, I would like to talk about G's of spamming by Indians. I think it is much more difficult now because AI slop is also there in GSOC. I think a lot of mentoring organizations were saying this. A lot of dummies people BRs from AI.